There she is. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the woods. Plan is to do a little overnight tonight. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna shoot right up to the tent site, unload some gear, and then basically just hike as far as I can along the ridge. So, I'm gonna try to get this part done quick because I've got about a probably an 11-12 mile day today. So I packed a little heavy, knowing that I can unload about 3 miles in. So that's the plan. Show you some views along the way, get my tent set up, and then the fun begins. So, I'll talk to you in a bit. Let's just take a peek over here, shall we? Cool. Let's check this out. All right, so I'm assuming this is the Basin Rim Trail. The tent site should be right over that hump into the Wild River Wilderness boundary. And then I'm just gonna run that ridge all the way about 5 miles that way and see how far we can get. I would love to get out to North Baldface today. Everything's going to be weather and time permitting, I guess. Permitting? Weather and time permitted. Yeah. So last week it was super wet. We've been in a pretty nice heat stretch. Oh, it's early. My words aren't working. Heat wave. So hopefully the trail's a little drier than it was last week. I was tempted to go somewhere else or go back to the same spot, but we're gonna have clouds tonight, so there's really no point in me going and camping up there if I can't do any astrophotography, so I'll save that for another time and check out this trail. Well, that's pretty nice of them to put a bridge here. Why, thank ya. So far, this trail has been quite flat. I know it's going up. I looked at the contour lines on the map before I left. There's definitely a section over here that looks a little steep. But for now, we'll just enjoy this little warm up in the woods. Sun is starting to peek out. Very nice. How's that for a blowdown? There's the trail. And we're not even in the wilderness area yet. Pretty cool. Sun's peeking through. Love to see it. All right, so I'm right at the last section of steep elevation gain. It was pretty steep coming up, and the trail is not very well marked. There were a couple times there where you're looking around and it's just like, well, which way? I know I'm going up, but look for something, then eventually you find a path. But you gotta make sure it's not a herd path. Anyway, this is definitely a well-defined path. And it's steep, and yeah, we're at the home stretch of this trail. It only took about, it's 8:03, so about an hour. Not too bad. So, let's get this chunk done, then we'll be all set. So, I can probably barely, with binoculars you can make out my car right over there. And that's just the first view of the day. All right, almost at camp, and then we'll hike some more mountains. Well, there's a good little blowdown right there too. Looks like it's blocking the campsite. What the? Oh, the impaler tree. Oh, ay, ay, ay. All right, let's see. As you continue beyond this sign, all right, so what are we, a quarter mile away then? Looks like a nice little spot for me for tonight. I've really got to get a little lightweight hammock just to chill and hang out in at the end of a hike. I don't think I want to carry a chair because a lot of the places, it's not really level enough for a chair. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna get set up here and then we'll get some water. All right, we've got our tent set up. Our food is stashed in the woods, except for what I'm gonna eat on the hike. And we're hydrating, so the time we got, around 9:15. So I've gotta go back a half mile out to the Rim Junction and then just start going. And the word I was looking for earlier was weather dependent. The trail's in good condition. Rarely saw any spots of mud except for right at the beginning. The bugs are gone. And we have clear skies. Clouds are supposed to work in later. No big deal. Rain is not in the forecast. So, really happy about that. I'm excited. I'm gonna go get some good views today, I think. And I'm just gonna hike until I feel like it's a turnaround time so that I can get back to camp. Without having to worry at all about, you know, whether hiking in the dark or anything like that. So yeah, just gonna keep chugging some water and yeah, get moving. All right, where are we headed? Basin Rim Trail. We're gonna grab Mount Meter, go around Ragged Jacket. All right, so I like what we just did there, you know, set up the tent, unload some weight, and keep moving. I mean, it basically added about a mile. You know, I gotta go a mile down, a half mile down, half mile back up. And then I've just given myself a hard stop time, or a hard turnaround time of 2 p.m. So I left there at 9:30. That gives me 4.5 hours of hiking out, and then 4.5 hours of hiking back, which puts me at, I'm gonna say 2, 4, 6, 6:30. 6:30 return to camp. Now, I have no idea if it will take me that long. I'm gonna try not to, I'm not gonna run, you know? I'm not gonna run this trail. I'm just gonna enjoy it, and however far I get is how far I get. I would really like to complete my goal today. If not, it's fine. I can just come and do the Baldface loop another time. The only thing about the Baldface loop is the shelter is right at the start. So it's kind of tough. I would either have to start late in the day, overnight at the shelter, and then do like a sunrise hike. But everything I've read says that coming down South Baldface is sketchy. And if it's wet, it's not something you really want to do anyway, just because it's all rock and it's really steep. I don't know. That's just what the internet says. Could be fine. So yeah, that's my whole hang up with that. But if I can get out there, man, that's my goal. North Baldface today. And as we finish up this little ramble here, we finally get out to some views. Beautiful. So, there's the basin. We came up that valley and now we're on the rim. And like I said, the plan is to go up and over the ridges as far as we can go today. So I think that's where we're headed next. What a beautiful day it is! What the hell am I supposed to do about that? That's not a blowdown. That's a blockade. That's the way to go? Oh, shoot. What are we gonna do now? I'm gonna have to crawl. What we don't want to have happen here is have this whole tree give out. Bastards! Look at this one. This one looks like it was intentionally placed in the trail. Obviously not the case. It's beautiful. But that's what the wilderness area says it's all about. Trails aren't maintained as much. Blowdowns are left. And it does give, it gives a pretty cool feeling. Like, even if it's just navigating your way around something little like that, or the little tree we crawled under, or the big tree we crawled under earlier, it just makes you sort it out instead of just mindlessly walking on a trail. There you go, another one. Log, tree, right in the middle of the path. Well, there we go. Out of the woods and onto the ridge. That is quite the view. Awesome. Where the heck were we last week? I bet. Could be wrong, but I'm betting that is Speckled Mountain. And there's a little white spot right above this tree here, and I think those are the ledges where it was all fogged over everywhere, but I would have got the views from up on that mountain. I'm almost 100% sure. I'll have to check the maps and find out. I think I want to say East and West Royce over here. What's that one back there? That's a nice little mountain. I gotta figure out which way I'm looking. One of these days I'll be able to name all of them. But for now, why am I showing you the forest? That's not a bad view. Especially when this mountain, from the reading that I've done, it said Mount Meter had some so-so views, but I mean, I really don't have too much to compare it to. I haven't done a whole lot of hikes in the Whites. I've been at Acadia. I mean, Colorado had some views, but out here, this is, for the most part, new to me. Even though I've spent so much time in New England, I just finally have the opportunity to get out here, and it's incredible. Yeah. Where the heck are we going now? Eagle Crag. You know, I like those other signs in the Caribou Mountain. North Chatham Road Meter Trail. Alright, that takes you down. Eagle Crag, next stop. Oh, are we gonna make it out there? Hey, something else peeking out up there. All right, gonna put some miles on. I mean, we just made a pretty big ascent, so I think that was the majority of the work that we're gonna have to do today. I mean, the next highest peak would be North Baldface. Another blowdown. These aren't just like little trees either. So now, when I read those trail reports and it says multiple blowdowns, it's not like it's just a stump across the trail. It's a friggin' tree. Yeah, what's the matter? Didn't want to crawl into that one today? Well, look, so that is South Baldface. Those are the cliffs that I don't want to go down. I would much rather go up. Oh man, it's so good. Oh, wow. What a difference a week makes. Wow. Now that's what it's all about. Imagine this in the fall. Those are all deciduous trees. Yep, put that on the list. Well, this is a pretty cool little area. Good to know if I need water on the way back. There were two areas. I mean, I wouldn't drink that unless I was really, you know, quite parched. But there were two little areas out here that I could chug my water and have some on the return. Trillium, I believe it's Trillium. You know, I saw another grouse on this trip. That was cool. I won't bother you. Jesus! Yeah, it's official. I think this video is going to be titled Blowdown City. What am I going to do about this? It's a good thing I'm as tall as I am, because it does make things like this quite easy. Going around. All right, well, we're cruising right now. A little after 11:30, about halfway out to Eagle Crag, and then I think it's only another mile out to my destination. So if this path continues, I know I have more elevation to gain. I gave some up and I have to go higher. But the point is, I can get out there for 12, you know, hard cut off 2 o'clock. That's it. Clouds are rolling in, but don't see anything too threatening as far as rain goes. I'll get a forecast when I get out there, but yeah, I think we're gonna make it. I really do. Hey! All right, so I'm just sitting out here at Eagle Crag. Just trucked it here. Made good time, got here before noon. I'm gonna grab a weather forecast and see if we're clear to move on. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain, it's just cloudy. About 1.5 miles out to North Baldface, and then I'll start making my way back. The views are pretty good. I mean, right here, I've got trees in front of me, but you can tell we're gonna have something good. Weather forecast is in, let's see. 2 p.m., ooh, 70% chance of a shower. 4 p.m., 30% chance of a shower. 0 inches, so maybe a little sprinkle. Nothing to worry about. I'm okay with that. Because there wasn't a lot of rocks really to go down. It was mostly, and the trail's dry, so I'm not worried about any of that either. So I'm gonna hydrate and have a snack, and then get moving. I definitely need to replenish right now. So I think this is my new thing. I'm just gonna start trying the most ridiculous jerky snacks I can find. And also, these organic Black Forest gummy bears are probably the best little jolt of sugar for the trail. You can get a box, I think I got a box of 48 or 72, something ridiculous, off Amazon for like $13 or $14. So that's what I'm about to get into. So for those that aren't aware, that's the Baldface Loop. You can start in the valley down there, work your way up South Baldface, come over there, and then hit that, and then you come down. I still think I was out there last week. Some more peaks back this way. All right, I gotta figure out where I'm going. Is that my destination? Because if that's it, that's cool. That's not as bad as I thought. I thought I had to go over here. Ah, you know what? That's probably South Baldface. That's just the ascent, you dingus. This is my favorite kind of hiking right here. When you just end up on the ledges and you just have views everywhere. So I said it before, I did lots of hiking in Acadia. But I mean, you really can't, the mountains are not mountains. Now the biggest mountain on there is what, 1,200 feet. That was my first hike of the year. Banged that out. But the point of this whole spiel is that there's a couple different areas within Acadia National Park where you end up on ridges like this. So it's worth it, you know, the views are awesome. So what I'm saying, this is my favorite kind of hiking, and I know I said I haven't done much in the whites. Getting up on the ridges, and that's where it's at. You just get that expanse. And that might have actually been why that circle has been on my radar for so long. Because looking at the terrain, it does look like you're out exposed for a good section of it. And also, like, I'm not hating on Acadia at all. I'm not hating on Acadia at all. I was able to create your own loops, create your own trails. Instead of going up one mountain and then, going over the ridges like we're doing today, you can go up, come down a cool trail, then go up another mountain and just link them all together. Most trails over there aren't too long, but there is such a networked trail system that it's pretty cool. All right, Mount Meter Ridge Trail. Now we want Baldface Circle. There we go. All right. Now this looks like someone's camping out here. Wow. What am I looking at? Is that Mount Washington? Holy cannoli. I don't know. I mean, I can see I have no idea. I can see a lot from up here. I think that's where we're going. A little bit of rock climbing never hurt anybody. Well, this is a good little climb, this last section. Oh, we're right there. A little bit of rain, but I can't turn around now. I'm so close. All right, a couple more scrambles and we're home free. There it is. Oh my God. Well, these views are incredible. Just a little sprinkle, but no big deal. We made it up here for 1 o'clock. Oh my goodness, what a great hike. And you know, I think I must have came from that notch down there. That melt meter must be over there. That was my first real viewpoint. I don't know though. I have no idea. Anyway, I'm gonna get off these rocks because this was the only part that was slick. So if these get wet, it might be a little sketchy going down, but we'll be all right. We'll take it slow, and the sun's peeking out over there, so pretty sure that is Mount Washington. The mountains behind me, incredible. So GoPro's about to die. I'll see you back at camp, and yeah, there is so much back there that I can explore. It's a beautiful day. All right, well, we're back at camp. That was a great hike. Everything went, couldn't ask for a better day, honestly. A little sprinkle, no mud on the trail. Yeah, we did everything we wanted to do. So I've got my chores to do. I already filtered some water, and now I've just got to get camp set up. So I gotta say, these are actually really good. Last week I had the pesto pasta, but the marinara, the beef marinara, is delicious. So I love pasta. I haven't been eating much of it at home, but I figure when I'm out doing this, got no reason not to. So we're gonna cook up some dinner, take it from there. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna make a hot cup of chamomile tea. Chamomile, whatever. Read my book for a little bit, get cozy. I've got the sound of the brook behind me, so I should sleep great tonight. And if you made it all the way to the end, thank you. Thank you so much, and I'm glad you enjoyed the adventure. I'll see you in the next one.